welcome to Blue Jays Today, where you boys always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Playalog.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today, guys, we got to look at this ridiculous trade proposal by this, journalist. I don't even know if you want to call them a journalist, because this is probably one of the craziest trade proposals I have ever seen.
It's wild.
I know, it's crazy. And as well, we got to take a look at this Vladimir Guerrero Jr. injury update and see what he is doing in recovery. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's get right into it, bro. Let's look at this trade proposal, man.
Let's do it, dude. Actually, before you flip over,
I just did.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna ask the people. I was literally gonna ask them, who are some of the names, in your opinion, of guys that just would never be on the trade block, right? And I feel like if you were to ask them that, you got to think Julio Rodriguez is top 5, top 10. Maybe?
He just signed a long-term deal with his club last offseason. Yeah. Why would you ever want to trade him?
The kid is 22, 23 years old, coming off of a phenomenal season. And apparently, this journalist thinks that the Toronto Blue Jays could be a destination for him. And the whole argument surrounding it is the fact that he's doing bad, which he is. He's off to a poor start. I think Seattle as a whole is kind of just and not just doing great. He's hitting 217 right now. The OPS plus is 91, so definitely not ideal. I mean, the WAR is still good at 1, but based on what he did last year, this is not where it's at.
No, he's gonna turn it around because if you look at his career, last year, he was an absolute all-star. I mean, 853 OPS and for the rookie season, rookie of the year. This is a guy you don't really want to get rid of. But this article is saying, oh, let's trade him to you got a few other destinations like St. Louis Cardinals, maybe. But the Toronto Blue Jays as one of the destinations. Now, this to me is an absolute no-no because we don't need to add any more offense because especially they're saying what they want in return is starting pitching. And Mariners already have a good rotation. So I don't even know why this is even offered in the first place. We need to keep and hold on to our starters at all costs.
Listen, guys, I think the only reason that we are even entertaining this proposal, and I put that in quotations, proposal in podcast format, is because we are starting to enter into Toronto Blue Jays trade deadline rumor season, if you will. This is the time now where we can start to have those conversations. This conversation, we're going to put it out there right now, is not happening. Trading for more offense, especially a young, long-signed player that effectively is their version of Guerrero and Bo Bichette, that's not going to happen, guys. And especially trading away our starting pitching. No.
There's no reality where the Seattle Mariners will ever entertain this. And even if they did, sure, if they were hey, you want Julio Rodriguez, we'll give him on a discount, we want this. But if they're asking for our prime starting pitching, what do you want Kevin Gausman, you want Chris Bassett, you want, even though Alek Manoah's not doing well, Alek Manoah, you want Ricky Tiedemann.
Are we going to swap our two slumping studs? You want Manoah, we'll take Rodriguez.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense to me at all, guys. Moving forward with these Toronto Blue Jays trade deadline conversations, offense, even though we're not doing as well offensively as we've done in the past, I still think that that's not much of a concern. That's kind of put on the back burner. We score enough runs, we do okay. Pitching and bullpen, especially, that's where it's at. Right now, I think we're ranked 12th in starting pitcher ERA. And just the prospect of trading that away doesn't make any sense. Because when you look at these teams that are ahead of us, right, you got Tampa Bay, you got Minnesota, you got Atlanta, you got Houston, you got Texas, you got LA. These are all playoff teams. And the reason that they're playoff teams is because their starting pitching is so good. If we give some of our starting pitching away, we are not going to be a playoff team anymore.
We should be trading for starting pitching come this trade deadline and bullpen pieces. This has been the conversation for a long, long time. So sorry guy who wrote this article. We're not going to entertain this idea.
For real, dude. I mean, we'll give you Kikuchi. I'll give you
I don't even want to give up Kikuchi this season.
Come on, bro.
Not this.
Kikuchi for Rodriguez. You told me you wouldn't do that deal.
Well, it'd be a package deal.
No.
If you're saying 1 for 1, I would smash that in a heartbeat.
I'm flipping Kikuchi for Rodriguez, man.
Of course.
Yeah, we're taking Seattle straight for a ride, folks.
Whoa, time for your daily Betway breather. A quick reminder that the best place to bet is on Betway. Must be 19 years of age or older to play. In collaboration with iGaming Ontario, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
Moving on to our next piece of Toronto Blue Jays news, we gotta touch on the whole cheating, stealing sign scandal, whatever you want to call this, man. This entire Yankees-Toronto Blue Jays series is one big fuck up, for lack of a better term, man. Like, everybody's been losing their minds. But this whole Aaron Judge stealing signs thing off Jay Jackson, this exploded on Twitter, man. And it looks like we're finally understanding exactly what happened here.
Yeah, it looks like Jay Jackson, after he got sent back down, he talked to The Athletic and he came clean, saying that, you know, he believes that the first base coach was looking into Jay Jackson's hand, seeing which grip he was doing, but he's totally allowed to do that. It's up to Jay Jackson to hide that baseball. That's why they hide the baseball anyways, or they just leave it hanging. And so he thinks that he may have been relaying signs to Aaron Judge. And even though Aaron Judge claimed that he was, you know, thinking about like Aaron Boone getting tossed from the game and his teammates were chirping, sure, maybe, whatever. But I do believe this is a more likely scenario, and it's not cheating. I want to say that one more time. No. It is not cheating to relay signs on the field using the information you're getting with your eyeballs. That is not cheating at all. And all the comments that are saying that, like, you know, defending the Yankees, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
On that regard, absolutely. The whole stuff with Domingo Germán and the stick stuff,
different.
That's a different situation. That's a different situation. That is cheating, and he's probably going to get suspended.
He actually just did. 10 games.
Literally, 10 game suspension there for Domingo Germán. The whole stuff with Aaron Judge, not cheating. And I think this lends itself to what we were just speaking about, but the fact that we need to get more bullpen and more starting pitching, because Jay Jackson shouldn't really be a bullpen guy for us, right? And I mean, like, not only am I unsure about his capabilities just pitching wise, now it's coming out that, you know, maybe he's sipping his pitches too. I don't really want this guy pitching in competitive ball games. We need more depth.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be with the team probably again this season. I imagine once Simmer's back. I mean, Thomas Hatch is on the team right now. I imagine once Simmer's back, he's going to fill up that hole.
I agree
but
with you.
if there's injuries,
that's the thing.
Then we're going to need to go get some more guys. And especially come trade deadline, you got Garcia, you got Bass. Those guys are some maybe replaceable if they continue at this pace come trade deadline, because we don't have seasons to figure out, oh, are you going to do it this year? Are you going to do it next year? You have to do it this year. And the Jays are going to be on the market for one of those starting relief pitchers, excuse me.
I completely agree, dude. Also, just like a completely side narrative here, tipping pitches. I feel like this has been something that Blue Jays pitchers, maybe just because we hear Blue Jays news the most, we hear about that often.
Right.
But I feel like this is something that we're kind of susceptible to. Like, we've definitely done this in the past, you know. I just think, like, maybe Pete Walker, maybe the guys, maybe we need to take an afternoon one day and just like put an emphasis on this in practice. Be like, guys, hide your pitches.
Maybe bring someone in who's got some expertise in that field, because you're right, it is something that is occurring, and maybe this is an underlying thing with the Blue Jays where this is why we've had so much struggling pitching over the years.
I mean, don't you remember like a Jose Barrios? Like, that was a whole conversation with him for a while. I remember that there was a conversation. Was it Chris Bassett at the beginning of this year?
Chris Bassett was tipping pitches.
Chris Bassett was doing it too, right? It's like there was a lot of guys where it's like this has happened with, and it just feels like that's like kind of, it's getting to a point where it's not just a coincidence anymore, and maybe we should address this, boys and girls.
Yeah. Either address it internally or address it externally. Get someone in to help out for sure.
I agree, man. I agree.
And now we got to talk about, I think it's a good transition. Speaking of this series, we got to talk about Vladimir Guerrero Jr., guys. I mean, he got injured in Game 2. We're recording this right before, actually just during Game 3 of this series. And right now, we got some good news on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He is considered day-to-day right now with a right knee injury. The MRI did come back. Looked like there was no extra damage, and they're just taking it day-to-day. So this is very good news, because the play that he got hurt on, this one right here, I won't play it because it's going to play some audio and copyright, but it looked like so innocent. It looked like a tweak or something, but I'm glad that he's going to be fine. We need him, man.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Just the fact that he's not on the 10-day IL or going on there is like massive for us. And I think that this is, it's moments like these where you just have to stop and appreciate the youth that is Guerrero and Bo Bichette, guys. I mean, we've seen other squads. The Yankees are going through it right now. Tampa Bay went through it last year, and we've seen many other teams go through it before. Injuries can kill. They can kill your whole season. And Guerrero and Bo Bichette, bless their souls, dude, we've really never seen them go on the IL for a long period of time.
They've never been on the IL. They've had day-to-day stuff like this, but they've never hit the IL before their debuts. Or after the debuts, excuse me. So it's been a blessing. You're absolutely right.
100%, dude. And one of these seasons, I mean, knock on wood, one of these seasons, it is going to happen. You know?
We're going to be shocked.
Exactly. Like, we're going to be completely shell-shocked. That's why we need to capitalize on the years where they're young and they're healthy, and when they make a little tweak like this, it's no big deal.
No.
I'm young and spry. I stretch it out. I'm back on Saturday,
Exactly,
baby. We have got to
exactly.
appreciate these young and limber gentlemen because they're not going to be like that forever.
No, and you know what we gotta do, guys? We gotta go get some pitching.
Yeah.
I am so tired of screaming into this microphone and in looking into this camera and saying, "Oh, like let's go get pitching." Like, is this a season where we're gonna go all out? We're gonna ball out and just like overbuy and just overcompensate for pitching?
Listen, I'll tell you right now, I think that we're going to learn a lot about that this weekend, dude. If we handle Baltimore, then that should be everything that you need to know if you're the Toronto Blue Jays, because you handled Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Boston kicked your ass.
Yes.
We have handled the Yankees before. We're not sure how this series is
Oh,
going.
God.
But we need to prove that we can handle Baltimore, because Baltimore and Tampa Bay, those are the two teams above us right now.
And they have the two biggest, highest records in the MLB currently.
Literally, right? So we need to show that we can handle the quote-unquote best teams in the American League. That is what is going to then go up to Rogers and say, "Hey, Rogers, guys, we can do this."
Yep.
You know, it's like
Yep.
if we can get to playoffs, we can beat the best teams. We did it right here. Give us the guys that we need at trade deadline, and then we'll go make a run.
Yeah, hopefully we can get there, guys. Guys, let us know in the comments down below. What do you think about this potential trade deadline? I mean, the Julio Rodriguez thing is really ridiculous. But what about some other trades? Are there guys out there that you want to see us talk about on this podcast? Let us know.
Yeah, also, guys, please hit the like, subscribe button. Shout out to our Patreon members. $3 a month, become a Patreon member. You guys are awesome. And all of our YouTube members as well. We appreciate all of y'all.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. And go Jays, go!